People can do whatever they want, but it doesn't make it not ridiculous. Please do not stalk me. Yay! No. Hey everybody, I am here at the park again, getting ready to do a little bit of kendama yet again. We're gonna have a great time. Lemon is sniffing things. What a great day. My hair's in my face already. It's gonna be a great practice. Let's do it. What do you have to say to all your adoring fans, Lemon? Hey. You have any words of wisdom? More treats? More biscuits? I agree. Hey Siri. You suck, Siri. You're not good at your job. Hey everybody. Alright, so I'm here. I'm at the park. The geese are making noise. There's people behind me trying to play football because, you know, it's a giant park and they had to pick that spot. But that's all right. I'm gonna practice. This is a good lesson in life. You have to practice even when there are distractions and annoying people and annoying geese. Life lesson. Got my Dwesty mod, D-Westy, I don't know how to say it. I've got the Dylan West something mod. It's a great kendama from Kendama USA. If you want to get it, you can get it with a discount code of mine. It's in the description. I'm gonna just start, get right back in, get into it. I'm gonna do some, yeah. Look at this. Woo! Consistency. I've been practicing a little bit since last time, but not, ooh, that one wasn't good. Not as much as I wanted, but that's okay. I mean, that's what this is. This is a deliberate practice. Deliberate practice where we sit and we get stuff done. So that's good. That went really well. I just got like 30 of those in a row, counting. Next up, I would like to do airplane. I'm not good at the airplanes. Yes, 1. Nope. 2. 3. 4. Ha-ha! I'm gonna get 10 and then I can move on. 5. While I'm doing this, 6, I can talk about how my life's been going. 8, 9, oh man, this consistency though, 10, look at that. Holy crap. That felt really good. All right, let's do some J-stick. J-stick stands for jumping stick, I found out. It's when you do that, but you catch it. While I do that, actually before I do that, I'm gonna go check the camera. Okay, ready? Go. I'm back. I moved the camera slightly because I wasn't in the center, but now I am. I think I can move this way. I can, look at that. It's hard because there's trees and stuff and they like to move their shadows with the sun. Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of just using these as a way to talk about the things that I want to talk about while I practice. You know, all those things that would go through my head anyway. Except now, yes, I can talk about it out loud to you. Like a therapist that's free. And in fact, gives me like $2 every session. It's great. So thanks for being there for me, guys. Or girls, or women, or men, whatever you want to be called. I'm being more sensitive to the words that we use. I went to a sort of discussion on words and their meanings and all that stuff, and you know, I know a lot of people that aren't necessarily fans of like having to change the way they speak, but I personally resisted a little bit, you know, like the idea of saying guys, like, hey guys, hey, yeah, what's up guys? Like to me, that's not necessarily a word that I would only use to describe men. But at the same time, it is a word that describes men. And there is an inherent, like, I don't know, lack of inclusivity in that. And it's kind of interesting just being more aware of it. And yeah, you know, you can definitely take the approach of like, that's stupid, who cares? I don't want to I'm not changing the way I talk just because it's like slightly more politically correct or whatever. I know a lot of friends that think that way. Everyone has their own opinion. But to me, it's like, it's an easy change to make. I mean, it's not super easy, but if I can slightly adjust the way that I speak and it just makes the world a little bit more fair, just in like micro ways, then I'm in favor of that. I can do that. So yeah, the word guys is inherently a little less inclusive. And it is kind of difficult for me not to say it. I'm not going to beat myself up for saying it, and I'm not going to beat anyone else up for saying it. But I'm going to actively try to notice when I am saying it and try to say something else. So like, hey everybody, or hey y'all, or hey people. It's an interesting discussion in general, right? Like words and how they change and what they mean and what they don't mean. Like there's a lot of words that have grown to mean something else and they didn't mean that at the time, and you know, we can sit there and resist it and be very like, nope, mine. This is how I want to act and behave and talk, and you aren't allowed to change it. And or we can just try to make the world a little bit better, one little word at a time. I have a lot of habits in a lot of ways that I don't think are necessarily healthy and good for society. I'm not going to hate myself for it. That doesn't mean I can't try to be a little better. And, you know, if you're somebody who tends to hear things like that and get very defensive, you know, like I've been that way in the past, I think it's worth just asking yourself why you get so defensive about it and whether it is actually that hard just to make a little bit of change and think about somebody else. I think kindness goes a long way. Whether you agree with what people request of you or request of the world, at the end of the day, if it's something that is kind to somebody else and doesn't affect you, or at least doesn't affect you in like a really big way, you know, like, then why wouldn't you do it? I kind of have started approaching like online behavior this way. I get a lot of hate messages. I think this surprises people when I say that. Yes. Oh, sad. It surprises people when I say that I get hate, because they're like, but you're so nice, how could somebody hate you? Or why would anyone hate a juggler? That was a good run. Yes. Whew, it's kind of exhausting, this Kendama stuff. Okay, I just want to get like 3 more. Yeah, people don't really, they're surprised when I tell them I get like angry messages or angry comments. Less so in comments, more so in messages. People tend to want to be mad at me personally rather than in public. But I have the mentality of, I usually respond. And I usually respond really empathetically and kindly, because I think that anger comes from a place of hurt and loneliness sometimes, and pain, and I have personally felt that a lot. You know, I've been really angry before and said things I didn't mean. And so I can empathize, I can sympathize. And yes, all right. Pause that conversation while I do my next trick. 1 turn, lighthouse. Nope. It is so hot right now. Holy crap. Whew. LA, January. Yeah, so I get a lot of hate messages, and I tend to respond to them, and I respond to them really kindly, because you know, I think that there's some hurt there, and if I can help in some way, even just by acknowledging that the person exists, I think that helps a lot. And you know, I've had people say, well, they're probably just trying to get attention and you're like feeding into it, and that's really dangerous or not good. And I agree. I think sometimes people are trying to get seen or heard or get attention, and my response to that is, why is it so bad to help people feel seen or heard, you know? Like, it literally takes 2 seconds of my time to respond to them and say, hey, what you're saying is really aggressive and scary. And I don't agree with it and I don't condone it, but I know that you're probably feeling a lot more than you're saying. And I hope it gets better. And so that's usually something like I say, and I firmly believe that. Whoa. That was weird. Sorry. Either there was like an earthquake, which I doubt it, because nobody else seems to be reacting, or I just got the craziest like vertigo. I almost lost my balance. That was really weird. I'm back. Like I felt really dizzy. That was weird. All right. I don't think there was an earthquake. Nobody else seems to be acting weird. But that's what an earthquake feels like. It feels like things are shaking and like you're unbalanced. All right, focus, Taylor. What was I talking about as I'm working on this trick? Yeah, so I'm totally fine with taking 2 seconds of my time to like talk to somebody about like an actual thing they must be experiencing. And what's funny is usually they end up responding, and they always, I would say 90% of the time they respond really positively and they apologize and they say, "You're right, I'm just really angry. I don't know why I said that, I'm so sorry." And a lot of people I talk to and tell this to, in this theory and this idea, they'll respond and say, "Well, you're just, feeding a bad behavior, reinforcing it. They just want attention. They just wanted to start a conversation with you." Yes. And what's funny is never have they continued the conversation with me. It doesn't appear like they're using it as a way to start a conversation. They say they're sorry and they move on. And I don't feel like I'm reinforcing bad behavior because I make it very clear that I don't think what they're doing is right. I make it clear that it does hurt me to hear what they're saying. It does have an impact. Words are powerful. But also that, I understand how they could be saying it and where it might be coming from. And the whole reason I brought that up, I guess, is just that it's this idea of, I feel like people get very guarded and protective of their emotional energy. And I am too in a lot of ways. But when it comes to like simply making a small change to make somebody a little more comfortable, or saying something a little bit more kindly, or taking a second to respond to somebody that says something cruel, it can really just help strengthen us as humans. So that's kind of the whole point. It's like, if you tend to be on the side of somebody who doesn't agree with like having to change your vocabulary to make other people feel comfortable, I get where you're coming from. I've been there before. But also, let's just be nice to each other, It takes a little bit of effort, but it's really not that much effort. And even if it doesn't matter to you, being empathetic with other people is really nice, especially if you don't agree with them. I try extra hard to be empathetic with people I disagree with, because that's how conversations happen. So there's my little soapbox for the day. Yeah. Oh, I feel like I'm making progress on this trick though. It's really hard. Yes, no. Oh. Like, I feel like I'm getting better at the flipping part. Not that time though, not that time. Flipping part is getting better. It's like, once it's there, I can't seem to balance it very well. And then getting it into the spike just seems so foreign. Ah. Dang it. Dang it. Oh yeah, nope. Okay, focus. Let's do this one more time. There's a really interesting like balance between flicking your wrist back and pulling, and I haven't quite figured it out. I mean, that time I did, which was great. I really like the Dwesty mod, D-Westy, whatever you want to call it. I like this one because it's very, it's like heavy in a really nice way that I like, especially for throwy type tricks, juggly tricks. Come on, Taylor, one more time. There we go. Boom. Yes. Okay, J-stick. Nope. Nope. But, you know, I got the rest of it. I feel comfortable with that. So, it is hot. And not just because I'm wearing the sweet Taylor Tries t-shirt, which everyone should get. Let's work on down spike a little bit. Let's do it. Nope. This one is so hard. Dang it. Yes. I don't know what to do from there, so I'm just gonna practice that. All right. I can't quite figure out if I'm supposed to pull it so that the hole comes straight up and then I like scoop it down, or if I'm supposed to pull it so it goes kind of in and then I scoop it to the side. I don't know. We're figuring it out. And I think I almost like over rotated and then just do like a penguin, which I also don't think is correct. I think it's supposed to be a downed spike. Duh. And so I feel like I'm cheating half the time. Yeah, I don't know what to do from there. I don't know. Lots of planes. That was a accidental one. I think I mentioned this last time. I just got back from a convention. It's not a convention, it was a conference, an unconference, and I'm very tired. Like, even though it's been a few days, I'm still very tired. It's like recovering from it is exhausting. Going to different places really, I mean, travel, right? Like, it really can exhaust you. And then also when it's something mentally really stimulating, it's fantastic, but also exhausting. Woo! All right. I really don't like this trick. What are you doing, Lemon? You gonna sit right there? What a good dog. Yeah. All right, so I'd like to work on, I don't want to work on that one anymore. That stupid trick, because I really hate it. Down spike is really annoying. So I want to work on some earth turns, and I really want to start getting whirlwinds down, which is when you like do that, but you catch it. So people keep telling me practice lofty earth turns. Nope. It is hot outside. 76 degrees in January in LA, which is such a contrast from the like 30-degree weather I was in Chicago. It was really, really cold. Come on. Yay. No. I've been watching the Netflix show, Once Lifetime show, You. I don't know if anyone in the comments, let me know if you're watching that. I'm watching season 2 right now with my roommates, and I love that show. It is so good. It's very alarming, but it's really good. When I watched the first season, I was just like, uh-oh. I know I'm gonna like this show, but it's also gonna kind of freak me out for like dating or anything like that. Rightfully so. I know most people are not stalkers and creepy stalkers, but I'm sure they're out there. Especially the more that I am on the internet, I'm sure my potential for having one goes up. I was talking to a friend today, a guy friend who has a few stalkers from being online and in books and stuff. And it sounds just terrifying. Like, I don't know what I would do. So please do not stalk me. Like, however, if somebody here watching this is my stalker or is contemplating being a stalker now or in the future, please don't. It sounds really scary, and I really don't. I don't want that. No matter how much you might be thinking, please don't. Don't send me lots of emails. Don't follow me. Don't dox me. Don't do any of that stuff. Should be common knowledge and common understanding. But in case it helps it to say it, you know. But yeah, you is great. Yes. Okay. I'm gonna do, woo, 1. No. I think the main actor review is really great. I don't want to have any like spoilers for people who haven't seen it, but the second season, the way that they've handled like a different type of season, I think has been really great. And it takes place in LA, right? So as somebody who lives in LA, I really love it. I think that their depictions of Los Angelinos, or whatever people from LA are called, hipsters, I think their depiction is really accurate in a lot of ways. Both the positive and the negative. Like when he starts out in LA, I feel like it's very kind of harsh towards LA, and rightfully so. I think there's a lot of things about LA and the people who live here that should be criticized. Or not even criticized, but are just like ridiculous. Like people can do whatever they want, but it doesn't make it not ridiculous. But then also as it transitions throughout the season, I feel like he starts to appreciate some of those things. And I have a similar, similar experience in LA. This trick is finally feeling like I understand what's going on, and it's not just like, because sometimes when you're like practicing things, you're just doing stuff and hoping it works. But now I feel like I'm like actively able to track what's happening and see when I'm doing it wrong. Like I can tell when it's gonna work, which before I don't think I could do. So if you're practicing Kendama and you're just starting out, like it feels very impossible. Like it did for me anyway, but I really think at some point it starts clicking and you're like, oh, I can start to break this down and follow what's happening. The trees are moving. No, I gotta stay in the light. Come on. I'd like to get this 2 more times. Loftier earth turn, here we go. There we go. I'm spinning it too much. That one was rotating wrong. That's not good at all. Closer. Come on. So I got one more. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Mwah. Let's do this. It's my timer. I have to get it done just one more time. I'm not leaving until I get this. That was so close. Urgh. Anybody? Nobody? How about you, Lemon? She is so doesn't care. She just doesn't care at all. That was 30 minutes that went by really fast. That's how practice should feel. It should feel like you just go right through it. When you're in the zone, you're thinking about things you really like, or you're thinking about nothing. You're just thinking about the thing in front of you. I really like this new style of practice vlogs and showing you guys how I practice in real time. Let me know what you think. I've gotten a lot of good feedback about it. People seem to really like it. If you have any suggestions or things that you want to see me try or practice, let me know so that in the future I can practice them. If you really like what I'm doing and you want to support what I'm doing, you can go to my Patreon and become a member of my Otter Club. It's just a good way to support me, really, and show me that you want to see me keep making content. I've got some tutorials coming out for you soon, some more practicing. I hope it inspires you. I hope it teaches you. Thank you so much for watching. If you want a shirt like this, you can do that. You can go buy that on my website, taylortries.com/store. And you can represent. That didn't work. Oh yeah. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Super happy because these guys decided to set up right behind my shot. Great. That's awesome. Now I gotta move. Okay, I had to move because somebody decided that that's exactly where they wanted to sit. Even though there's like 1,000 trees here, you know, that one is the best one to sit at. I'm gonna be so annoyed if they practice that way instead of practicing that way. I don't own the park. I'm not trying to pretend like I own the park. All I'm trying to do is find one little part of this giant park that I can film in where the people aren't behind me. But this is, I think, a pretty good spot. This is where I want to sit. As long as those guys behind me don't start throwing footballs directly behind me, then I think we should be good. Woo! Testity test 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 on the sound.